What is going on, everybody? It is Alex coming back at you with another video. And today we're going to be doing a trades mock draft. Of course, the way we've been doing it all season long. Had to give it to you guys because since we've been doing it since week 0, we might as well start doing it now. So without further ado, let's kick right into this. If you guys do like mock drafts, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell because we make content every single day. Would love to talk to you guys as well. Links down in the description for Discord, Instagram, Twitter. Feel free to hit me up there. And we have a big ass community, over 100, I think 20 members now. So very happy to hear that. So thank you guys for being an awesome community. And I'm excited to meet some new members. Let's kick this off. Starting off with the number 1 pick. So I did this rationale on, I think, the past 2 mock drafts I've done, but I'm going to do it for you guys again here. The battle is between Aidan, Hutchinson, and Evan Neal, right? Obviously, I don't think Ikem Ekwonu is a top 5, or he's not the number 1 tackle. I do think he's worth a top 5 pick, especially if the need is certainly there, which unfortunately there are teams in the top 5 that need it. Evan Neal is an amazing prospect. We just got, I'll put my 2-piece in here about the Natty, right? So with the national championship, I haven't even done my reactions to it yet, but we might as well do it here. When you look at the body of work, you see on the Alabama side, Evan Neal played pretty damn fine. Yeah, he let up the last sack and he had a couple of mechanical errors. He was standing too forward on his feet and he fell over quite a few times, was out of position. And the thing that I realize is that when you analyze a player, you don't analyze what they are, you analyze what they could be. And there's red flags now, but they're easily correctable red flags. So like leaning too far forward, that's something that is easily correctable. Literally decide to train him on weight distribution, which he has done a pretty good job of. Again, I think that if you play him at left or right tackle, he'll be fine with it. But guys like Evan Neal, you don't find him. That size, athletic build. And the thing is, people will always comment how he doesn't control the defender. The guy doesn't hold. Every other tackle in this class that I have seen has actually held players while they're blocking. Evan Neal doesn't. He's a special talent. But yeah, other guys, it was a shame to see Javonte Williams, not Javonte Williams. Oh my God. Jameson Williams, poor guy, going down with that ACL tear. He should be back, but again, that does possibly drop his stock a little bit. Call me crazy, but I think that if you are a speedster and you tear your ACL in a very tight race with other wide receivers, that certainly pushes your stock a bit down. Does that make him wide receiver 5? No. I still think he's arguably wide receiver 2. And he's always been wide receiver 2 for me. The guy's just shown so much prowess, and I'm very happy to hear that he's going to be able to fully recover. Like they say, they're imagining him to get full recovery. So cheers to Jameson Williams. I hope for a great NFL career for him. You know, he is a very talented player. And, you know, I don't think we need to see his speed tested because it's on the field. It's on the tape. So best of luck to Jameson to get back to 100%. Talking about other players in the Alabama offense, you got Latu, who's turning out to be a pretty solid situational guy. You know, Alabama had a couple dudes flash in their wide receiver core. Just again, it's obvious that the high-end caliber players like Jameson Williams, obviously Judy, Smith, Waddle, etc., Ridley, those guys are not the actual quality of receivers that Alabama has right at the moment. But that's okay. 1, transfer portal. 2, you get guys every single year, right? Alabama's the place. You know, when it comes to Bryce Young, I'm a bit more iffy on him than most people. Do I think he's probably going to win the Heisman next year? Sure. Yeah. Barring injury. So knock on wood that doesn't happen, because if you wish injury on a player, you're just a bad person. Just don't do that. But I don't think he's as talented as people think. You look at these games like the Iron Bowl and the games where it's really damn close, Texas A&M. There are key mistakes that are made. Did he come up clutch? Absolutely. Especially in the Iron Bowl, he had a very good 2-minute drive. But people throw away the other, 58, 57 minutes of the game just because they see something with 3 minutes. And you can't discount those 3 minutes, but it's just, I don't think Bryce Young's as much of a hit as people think. He's not a guaranteed hit. If Trevor Lawrence isn't a guaranteed hit, he sure as hell isn't. His size isn't there. Sometimes the decision-making isn't there. He needs time to develop, but still a very talented prospect nonetheless. But I got to give props to the Georgia D-line. I think they have 4 or 5 first-round talents on that defensive line, including Devontae Wyatt. I do have him graded pretty highly, and the guy is just phenomenal. So you got obviously Jalen Carter there, Jordan Davis. These guys played out of their minds, right? They came and they showed up because they realized they got embarrassed last time. So tip my cap to them. Georgia's defense did a very good job, especially when they didn't have to worry about the speed of Jameson Williams, which is the main reason why I thought Alabama could win again, because speed rules all. It's the one thing that you can't really game plan for if you're going to get torched, because again, you're going to get torched in short or deep in terms of speed. So I think Jameson Williams' loss was a huge factor into that. I chose the Dogs to win, but I knew that Alabama had a chance with Jameson Williams on the board or on the field, and that's what happened. So those are my key contributors to the game. Again, I think Ringo had that pick 6. Good job for him. Cheers to him for that. But guys like Travon Walker, like, you just see those talent flashes, and it's like, wow, you are an incredible athlete. So I'm very happy to hear about the Dogs doing that. It might honestly push me to feel a lot more comfortable drafting all the Georgia guys, because I don't know if they're going to be running it back again, just because they won the Natty. They hadn't done it in 40 years. They're at the peak. Nolan Smith, a guy who I thought should have returned, actually made the game-winning play. Not the game-winning, the game-ending sack. So those are my thoughts on the game. Let me know what you guys thought. Of course, James Cook having that big run. I've been a James Cook supporter since day one. Love that guy. But, I mean, hey, tip of my cap to Georgia. They did a great job. And it's not like even Alabama's defense. Jordan Battle played all right. Christian Harris did a great job. Oh, I got to give a shout out to Lewis Seen too. He's going to be moving up because it's a 4-round mock. But, again, just a really damn good game overall. Really fun game to watch, even if it were just like little pieces moving, just very solid. Now, let's kick into the draft. I hope I'm going to be definitely putting my thoughts and the time description down below, just so you guys don't have to worry about dealing with all of that. Number 1 with the Jaguars, we're back. Yeah, so bottom line is you have to look at opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is, what do I give up if I choose A? Like, what do I give up on B? And vice versa. What do I give up on A if I choose B? So let's just say we choose Aidan Hutchinson here. Let's look at the tackles for next round, because we do need them. We do. The offensive line played much better this year, but again, you have a left tackle on a franchise tag. I don't know how much longer you want to be doing that, but obviously they're not worth, like, Cam Robinson's not worth that much money. Like, he's not worth getting on another franchise tag. But when you look at it, your best bet is Bernard Raymond, a guy who I think is a bit overrated. Still worth taking in the second, but not a guaranteed prospect by any means in the second. I don't think that, like, his inexperience is a thing that is a very big asset to him, but it's also a very big liability, because he's somebody who has some God-given talent, given the fact that he's able to compete against edge rushers from LSU and stand up. But you also see technicality flaws. You see anchor issues. There's a lot of big problems with Bernard Raymond. I played offensive tackle for 5 years. I played center and guard, another one. It's been crazy. But when I watch offensive linemen, there's just some certain traits that I did not see with Bernard. And I didn't think he was that great of an athlete, even though I think he's a good enough athlete. Bottom line, I don't think tackle is that good in this class. I don't. I really don't. I think that if you were looking for a guard, this class is pretty damn golden for you. But if you're looking for a tackle, you really need to hit on these top 3. You do. Even though there are some good other guys, And then if you look at the edge group, there's first rounders that might be going in the 3rd. Like, I have first round talents that might be going in the 3rd. According to this predictive board, Arnold Ebiketie, who I have a first round grade on, is projected to go in the 3rd. I made my case. We're going to go Evan Neal out of Alabama right here. So, yeah, I think that that's perfectly fine. When you look at the talent next round, I think it will be a lot more obvious that we should do that. Number 2 with the Lions, we're going to be going Aidan Hutchinson here. Again, some people say KT is a better fit. Oh, well, I mean, I think Aidan Hutchinson's better. Like KT, I watched him for multiple years. I watched him on the field in person all the time. He was the whole entire reason we went to football games on Friday. So, yeah, represent Oaks Christian, by the way. He's a smart ass dude too. Good guy. But Aidan Hutchinson is going to be probably worth it more than KT. KT has those high-end talent flashes. Aidan Hutchinson's a little more consistent. So you pick your poison at that one. I think I'd rather go Aidan Hutchinson personally, but again, you can't go wrong with either. Number 3 with the Texans. I already know Sarah's going to be killing me for this. She's going to want going after offensive linemen, which I'd respect, or trade back. I don't think a team's willing to pay the price to go up to get KT. I don't think the Jets are willing to pay that price. I don't think the Giants are willing to pay that price for KT. The price to get in the top 3 is pretty much your entire franchise. And I don't think with Will Anderson and Bryce Young on the line next year, teams are going to be that comfortable doing it. So with that being said, I know that there are parallels between KT and Jadeveon Clowney. But to be honest, that's worth it. If you get Jadeveon Clowney again at number 3, I mean, 1, that could just be bad luck. But 2, Jadeveon Clowney had a lot of injury issues. The guy's a physical specimen. He's a monster. KT is very similar. You're right. But I think that taking a shot on getting what Jadeveon Clowney should have been is going to be a lot more impactful than passing on him for somebody who is a bit less well-rounded. So like a center or a tackle, because I think there's only one bona fide starter in this class day one that I'm really confident in. That's Evan Neal. Ikem has room to improve. You look at Charles Cross, his anchor is still a concern. He still needs to put on some weight. There are concerns with most people except Evan Neal, where they're very minor issues. I'm going to go KT here. Just starting out the draft the same as usual. I think we kind of know the top 3 players at this point. They're going in some order here. They're going in some order. Just that's the way it's going to be. Unless a team makes a crazy trade up or a player gets traded, we're going to be sticking to this type of format. So number 4 with the Jets. I think, again, I don't know why y'all hate this so much. You guys say that, oh, it's a DB, you shouldn't do it. Kyle Hamilton is a beast. By the way, we have very similar birthdays. So I like Kyle Hamilton even more. I don't get this hate on him. When you look at Kyle Hamilton, the body of work that he has, you say he has 1 complete season and 1 year he played half of it. Okay, fine. But if you look at every single game he's played, he has been a difference maker on the field. Jamal Adams, you guys actually had the best version of Jamal, but he is exponentially worse of a player than Kyle Hamilton is. You cannot miss on unique prospects. There's no point in it. If he busts out, you at least took somebody who could have been league changing, not team changing, league changing. If you have somebody who is Jesse Bates plus, that is dominance that you're going to be taking the top off against Josh Allen. I mean, Josh Allen has an interception tendency, right? Do that. Tua Tagovailoa, you're going to be destroying him too. And then mac and cheese, I'm sure you can find a way for Kyle Hamilton to use his IQ to be able to fool Mac Jones. This is a division that could be very beneficial for Kyle Hamilton. And he's going to go here or at the next pick. Honestly, I don't think that that's really up in the air. So we're going to go Kyle Hamilton here. That's just the right move for me. And I don't think people disagree. I don't. Number 5 for the Giants. I mean, if I were the GM of the Giants, I'm going to go probably Charles Cross or Ikem Ekwonu and then go Tyler Linderbaum. That's where I'd roll. Kenyon Green's up there too. He's definitely up there. But That's not going to be the case. We already know it's probably going to be Karlaftis and Ikem at this point. But I do want to throw out Charles Cross's name in here because he is young, he's hyper athletic, and he's somebody who is very solid all around versus Ikem, who's just a physical specimen. That being said, he is a physical specimen. You just don't find guys like him. So the top of this draft is going to look pretty damn familiar to the other one. I don't think there's going to be many trades in here. I don't. With a team like the Panthers, I could see a trade out. But again, who is willing to pay the price? I just don't think anybody's willing to pay this price to move up. So when you're looking at like teams, their needs, the guys on the board, the value is at tackle right now, right? What teams could be trying to get one of these high-end tackles? You look at the Jets, that's a team that could do it, right? They could try to hop the Giants for a guy like Ikem. I don't think that's a bright idea. I think taking the faller, so to speak, is honestly the best idea. The Broncos could be moving up in front of the Falcons for Derek Stingley. I think that quarterback's a huge issue for them. I think that might be the better choice. So, unfortunately, you could see Washington try to jump the Broncos for a QB. That wouldn't be a horrible idea, except for the fact that I don't like Washington giving up all this draft capital when I think there are 3 pro-ready QBs. And I think they will too. When you look at the pro-ready QBs, you have Pickett, Howell, and Corral. Those are the guys who are ready. I think those are the guys who are my first rounders. Malik Willis, obviously my QB too. But Malik isn't that pro-ready style. He's somebody where you're going to take him and he's going to develop into a 5-star prospect. He's amazing. But this pick, obviously, again, the hype's real. Kenny Pickett. We're not going to go too many bones about it into this one. Again, I would be drafting an offensive lineman again here, but we all know George Karlaftis is literally living, breathing New York football giant. So to keep it simple, keep it short for you guys, we're going George Karlaftis here. Number 8 for the Falcons. It's a weird spot because you have Derek Stingley, but the pass rush needs so much help. It does. And you got some great guys on the board. That being said, you have great guys next round too. So I think that's going to be a little bit more valuable than Derek Stingley, who is absolutely phenomenal. So I'm going to go Derek Stingley here. I think it's the right move. Again, sticking to a very similar format to what we did last time. That's why I'm not spending too much time on it. This pick is going to be Sam Howell. He's a guy, you're going to pair him up with Javonte. You're going to be sticking him in there. And he has a much better offensive line than UNC. He has a much more built receiving core too. So I think that's going to be a very big hit for the Broncos. Sam Howell, my QB1. Number 10, the Jets. It's down to Charles Cross or Kenyon Green, Tyler Linderbaum here. And I like Tyler Linderbaum more. I do. I also think that center spot is very weak in this draft. So again, sticking to the old format, we're going Tyler Linderbaum, just a very high-end player, number 5 on my board, even factoring in center, number 3 graded player in this draft, just an incredible talent who has yet to show that he has legitimate problems. His only issue is maybe a little bit of an anchor. And again, you'll be putting on a little bit of weight in the NFL. This guy's incredible. Number 11 with Washington. This could be a spot you do trade back. I don't see many teams trying to go after a quarterback in the next few picks. So again, you could trade back and get Matt Corral here when you have guys like Andrew Booth on the board, like Charles Cross on the board, like David Ojabo on the board, like Garrett Wilson as well. Like there are teams that should probably try to move up for that. Charles Cross, I think a team does need to make a move to select him. He is a phenomenal athlete. And I mean, a team like Washington, people might say that, but again, you guys just signed Charles Leno to a 3-year, 37.5. That's going to be a pretty hefty contract to try to just say, hey, we're going to bring in another tackle here. You could see a team like the Dolphins try to make a big trade up here. They could. But again, they have so many issues in terms of, their offensive line is a big issue. And this is the last really good tackle. And this team desperately needs one. So if we do trade back that far, unfortunately, we're out of Matt Corral range, but we are able to trade back up. So to make this draft interesting, let's have some fun. Let's do it. The Dolphins are going to be moving up. Not with their pick. That's a funny thing. Not with their pick. The Niners pick. So we're going to see how much this is going to cost. We're going to see if a next year two is going to be able to do it. I think that's fair, honestly, when you think about it. Well, the Steelers had to trade they had to trade their 1, a third, and a second next year for a very similar range. I'll respect that. And I think they got a fourth in return. So I'm going to respect that one. You know, the Dolphins are desperate for an offensive tackle. Linebacker's pretty damn deep in this class. I mean, even Christian Harris is doing well. Charles Cross out of Mississippi State is going to be the big one here. Again, you keep your 2 first-rounders next year. That's a big plus. But also Washington gets extra draft capital to be able to move back up, to be able to select Matt. So I think that's a big plus. They get an extra 3rd-rounder pretty much this year. I think that next year's second will be good ammunition to move up. Number 12, you know, this is going to be Andrew Booth. No bones about it. Oh, Sauce Gardner's still on the board, though. Oh, we're going to go back to Sauce. I know we're keeping it very similar to the one this week. It can't be that much variation. But, yeah, Sauce Gardner, again, you know where this is going. Garrett Wilson, OBJ 2.0, but he's going to be younger without all the hype of OBJ. And maybe, just maybe, he might perform on this team better than Odell Beckham Jr., leaving the Ravens on the board. These are my 2 players I love to select for the Ravens right here, 11 and 12. Also, another reason why the Dolphins had to move up. When you look at the rest of this draft, you know, David Ojabo is a guy who comes to mind. He does. If I'm not mistaken, I think he played, somebody dropped this down in the comment section below. He played with Odafe Owe, I think back in high school. They're like high school buddies. And this is a team that could use an edge rusher. And we already know they can develop a raw pass rusher. So let's have some fun. I've never done this before. David Ojabo going right here to the Baltimore Ravens, killing the Eagles' hopes because I have drafted officially my top 3 guys that I would take to the Eagles. It sucks. That's okay. So this spot, we're actually going to go somebody who's getting a lot of hype because he's played phenomenally. Nakobe Dean. I think that's a good start. I think it's a good start to go after Nakobe. Nakobe Dean out of Georgia, a phenomenal linebacker with great speed. You know, I think he might compete a little bit with Davion Taylor, but he's somebody who can blitz very well and can cover extremely well as well. He's a guy that we haven't drafted a first-round linebacker since '85. I think he's going to be the one who pushes the needle. I think he is. So Nakobe Dean goes right there, especially with all the lack of talent at other positions of need. Kenyon Green's a guy who I'm thinking of here, though. You know, you will have, hopefully, that left guard spot opening free very soon. This is a pick I have not made yet, ever. And it's a pick I've wanted to for a very long time. You know, Kenyon Green to the squad would be a godsend. I do not think that 3 first-round defensive players is what Howie is going to do. I would do it in a heartbeat. You already know. I would choose Nakobe Dean. I mean, obviously David Ojabo was off the board. In this case, Nakobe Dean, Andrew Booth, and spoiler alert, Jermaine Johnson. That's what I would do. That's not going to be that possible here. That being said, there are some phenomenal offensive linemen in this class. I just think Kenyon Green is very versatile. However, I do believe that the NFL will see him as a left tackle. I don't think he's that good as a guard. I have him as a second-round guard. So we have to analyze where on offense Howie would go. Jameson Williams would be weird. I just don't think that this is a team that would draft Jameson Williams. It just doesn't feel right. So actually, what's going to be weird, we're going to, do I do a spicy pick here? I think we do. I do this all live, guys. I don't like this BS with having a pre-recorded mock. That's just, it's not fun for me. It's not fun for you. It's a lot more time as well. I'm thinking that wide receiver is going to be one of these picks. So I'm down to Drake London, Treylon Burks, and I just don't think the offense needs another Quez Watkins. You already have your Devontae Smith. So it's Treylon Burks or Drake London here. And Drake London's so good. When you watch the tape, like, this guy's so good. Treylon Burks too. Like, both of them are just phenomenal. And one of them will probably be going around here. I don't think Jermaine Johnson's going to be going to any of these teams. So, you know what? Spicy pick. I think that actually Jermaine Johnson's going to be this pick. I do. When you watch the tape, this guy he's on another level. He is. And he also screams Eagle. Please watch the tape before you try to bitch about him. I swear, I will come at you. I will. This guy is phenomenal. Just straight up phenomenal. Why I took him here instead of the next pick is because I do think the Chargers would be an excellent spot for him. Versus, I don't think Drake London or Treylon Burks are going to either of these teams. And if they do, good for you. Honestly, good for you. For the Chargers, I think, again, that guard spot is empty and that right tackle spot will be. Kenyon Green's going to be a phenomenal player to fill that need. Again, you can go Andrew Booth here. I think the depth of corner is pretty good in this class. So it's really up to you. You could honestly just say, hey, I'm going to address this in free agency. You could. Honestly, with Andrew Booth on the board, they might do that. But I already know Trent McDuffie might be there. You know, Darion Kendrick might be there. There are guys who will fit the scheme who will be there in the second. We're going to go Kenyon Green here to be an heir apparent to the right tackle. I think it's the right move. At 18, actually, Washington football team moved out of range for this. I was going to move back up with them. I think that the Steelers would have taken Kenyon Green. The Eagles are not going to trade with them. You know, you guys got future draft capital. You guys will make it work. Actually, this is not even a team that wants to draft a quarterback. What am I thinking of? I don't even know what I'm. Ooh, hold up here, though. Hold up. Because I see a three-way trade. Because I see that the Steelers are in the way. And they might draft Matt. I'm moving back up with Washington here. I don't know why I was thinking the Saints are going to draft a QB. They aren't. They're drafting a wide receiver. But I just don't see what's going to be going on right there. Because I'm going to have them move back up with the Steelers. That's just my logic right now. So with that, they're going to trade that third. Damn, the Saints are such a pain in the ass with this mock draft simulator. And we're going to just throw in a fifth here. You know, because how ridiculous it is, like it's not fair to do this. So we're just going to throw a 5th round pick of 2023. It's ridiculous how the algorithm is just such a pain in the ass with the Saints. So we're moving up here to select Matt Corral out of Ole Miss. Yes. I think that that's going to be the right fit for the team. You got an extra 2nd rounder next year. Again, the simulator is just annoying as hell, but cheers to you guys. You guys did a good job there. At this pick at number 19, I honestly can't see Drake London going in the next few picks. So I'm actually going to move back up with the Saints. We're going to do a little 3-way trade here. The Eagles are going to be moving back now with the Saints to be able to, they're going to get their Drake London replacement, but this is going to get future draft capital. We're going to do a 2nd and then they're going to get a 3rd in return. So we're going to move up a full round in the next year's draft. We're not going to acquire another first. That'd be ridiculous. But this is going to be Chris Olave out of The Ohio State University. Leaving the Steelers here. I know I screwed my Steelers over. I took everybody who I'd want to get for the Steelers. Literally everybody except Malik. Malik's on the board. So this is a team that can develop a QB. I think that it's a good spot to take one. You're at 20, take a shot on a quarterback. And again, this is a team, if you don't get a veteran, it's what you're going to need to do. Again, there is high-end corner on the board. Andrew Booth's a phenomenal player. Just quarterback has that value. Leaving the Patriots on the board, and this is a tough one. This is a tough one because I got wide receivers, I got linebackers, and I have corners on the board that all fit this team perfectly. And it's tough to choose because Andrew Booth is that good of a corner. Oh, damn. Damn, that's tough. Because I really do think that corner is a really deep position in this class. And that might push corners down the board. But not this far. Andrew Booth Jr. is going to be the guy who goes before Roger McCreary. So I think that's going to be the right move. This pick should be Roger McCreary. It should be. Again, I don't think Howie's going to make that move. I don't. It doesn't make sense to think that Howie is going to say, I'm going to choose 3 defensive players. I'm praying for y'all. Again, in what I would do mock draft, we're going to do something different. But at this point, Drake London out of USC, that slot position is going to be opening up anyways. You can use him in the slot and on the boundary, and he's going to be perfect for taking the eyes off Devontae Smith. So Drake London, This is funny because if I'm not mistaken, Drake London was my third first-round pick for the Eagles in my first ever mock draft. So that's entertaining. But I think he's a phenomenal player. And again, I would go corner here. You got to blend in some realism. 23 with the Raiders. I think this could be honestly a wide receiver or corner. When you look at it, I think Jameson Williams is still on the board. With the ACL tear, this is what he does. This is what happens to him. He falls from, let's just say, 18 to 23 because he's going to come back. You saw George Pickens. He's already back, right? So I don't think that's going to kill his stock. Just might move it a little bit. Might like drop him 1 or 2 points. And then that's kind of the variation between a lot of these players. With the Cardinals, I would dare say going wide receiver here wouldn't be bad either. Roger McCreary's definitely on my board. Travon Walker's definitely on my board. I think Roger McCreary would be a fun one to the team. I think he would. It's a team that does need a boundary corner. You know, again, edge, I could go Travon Walker. It makes so much sense. Let's change it up a little bit. Roger McCreary out of Auburn, a guy who's played phenomenally well this year, a very good player overall, and he might boost his stock in Mobile. So stay tuned for those videos. We'll have the risers and fallers from the Senior Bowl for sure. Number 25 with the Bengals. Yeah, I mean, this is a weird spot because you can go Darian Kennard here and get your right tackle. I don't think he fits the scheme. This is a good spot again for another corner too. Like that's the funny thing. You can go another corner here. Like it's just a weird spot. Obviously, I'm just looking over the guys on the board just so we have an updated look at who is here, because this could be a good spot to move back. Jordan Davis wouldn't be a bad option though. It wouldn't be a bad one. Like this is a guy who could be a big impact on this defensive front, because I do know getting an actual impact at D tackle is something this team doesn't really have. You have Tommy Togiai developing maybe into something like that. Offensive line is the biggest need. I just don't think it's very abundant at the moment. In the hype of Jordan Davis, I don't have him here. Is going to get him drafted around here. So we're going to make it a little bit different. The Bengals are going to go Jordan Davis. Again, just keep it fresh, keep it new. With the Bills, we're going to go offensive line. I think that's the right move. Or wide receiver. You could go Treylon Burks here. Let's have some fun. We're going to go Treylon Burks to the Bills. They're going to be drafting a extremely athletic, talented wide receiver out of Arkansas. Somebody who's going to be dynamic, fun, and just one kick-ass wide receiver. This pick, I don't think there's any real debate on whether I should go Devin Lloyd or not. With the guys on the board, I don't think there's much to discuss either. So we're going to go Devin Lloyd out of Utah. I think it's the right move. I think it is. Just a very hyper-talented linebacker. Impact day one. You got to do what you got to do for this team. Number 28 with the Cowboys. This is Jaquan Brisker all the way. It is. It's just this team breathes Jaquan Brisker. And honestly, the more I think about it, I might have even wanted to do Drake London, Jermaine Johnson here, and then go Jaquan right there. Lewis Sign's going to be my target for the next round. Just, I love Lewis Sign to this team. Number 29 for the Chiefs. I could see Travon Walker being damn, they got Travon Walker. I'm not even looking at the other players. The guy is just so raw. It's ridiculous. This team, I mean, they can just draft Marvin Leal and not even care. You know, the talent on the board says they can go anywhere they want. DeMarvin Leal kind of fits that moldable presence that they could use. And probably going to be in that Ndamukong Suh role now that Vita Vea got a big contract. Number 31, Titans fans. Oh, that's a weird spot. This is a weird spot for me because I would trade back with a team that might want to move up for a quarterback like Carson Strong. I'm not a huge fan of him, but you got really talented corners on the board. You have talent. You have still some talented wide receivers, tight ends, offensive linemen too. You can't discount that these guys are very talented men. But this team does need a wide receiver. They do. Want to believe it or not, they do. And I do think Jahan Dotson's an excellent fit for this team. He is a very talented wide receiver overall. His ability to carry his own offense it's honestly pretty damn awesome. It's good to see. I like to see Jahan Dotson being able to use elite NFL tactics at the college level. I love his positioning. It's perfect for a guy like Ryan Tannehill. He and AJ Brown might be able to just totally light it up for multiple years in the future, leaving the Packers sitting here. And I think that a trade up could be possible. You got Daxton Hills, Lewis Sign, Jordan Battle on the board. You got some great corners, some solid linemen. They honestly might draft an offensive lineman at this point, even though it's more logical to go after an edge rusher. I think the value of offensive line might be pretty damn good at this point. And when you look at it, Ferrari played better, in my opinion, at right tackle than left. So we are going to be putting Nicholas Petit-Ferrari on this team, ending off the first round. Let me know what you guys think. It's a very fun one. I wanted to change it up a little bit. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys on the far side. Peace.